Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. So we're going to be doing a pick a card to do with family healing. We're going to be looking into your family situations, what guidance you need to hear right now. So please subscribe, like and comment. Timestamps in the comments or in the description. So we're going to do 3 decks today, okay? So for deck 1, the Smith Tarot. For pole 2, which is the middle tarot deck, the Santa Muerte Tarot. And then for pole 3, which is this one, the Wake Me Up Tarot. So use your intuition to pick a deck. Take your time. So pole 1, I have already picked a few oracle cards. So we are going to take a look at them. I feel to tell you, pole 1, everything's going to be okay. I don't know if some of you are worrying here or you have a very big energy of, just stress around family, around the home. So I feel like looking into a lot of your family situation, some of you come from a very biblical household, a very strict religious household. You may come from a lot of tradition, meaning things could be traditional at home, maybe spirituality, learning to heal and create something out of yourself is not the norm. Now you also have poverty here, so I do feel like you may not come from a lot of money at home. I feel like your ancestors were very big on working for what they had, from creating from scratch, doing things that made sense. Some of you, maybe it was like something traditional like a doctor, nurse. For others it was like maybe you're expected to work at home, to sacrifice your life for home, for the family. It comes from a very like structured place. I feel like your current situation now, I feel like some of you have really been struggling with money. You have shine here. You really want to step out of your family situation. You want to make it. When it comes to poverty, what I've learned is that sometimes when we feel like we don't have enough, or we have a lot of financial situation, it can mean that we want to run away from family. We want to get out of the box that they're putting us in. And sometimes that can look like feeling stuck, feeling restricted in a place where you just don't want to be restricted, right? So I feel like your current situation with Home Angel is really learning to understand yourself. You could be the chosen ones. You could be doing a lot of ancestral healing, a lot of family healing, or even if you aren't calling yourself the chosen one, you feel like the black sheep. You feel like you're misunderstood. You feel like these restraints around you, you really want to break free from. You don't want to carry things on anymore. The wounds, the feeling left out, feeling like, well, where is my time? Where is my energy? I've been sacrificing myself again and again on this healing journey, but what do I have for it? And I feel like your family is not understanding of this, and sometimes we have to walk away. We have to put up boundaries. We have to let go of a lot of what they are trying to show us, so we can go and find ourselves. But I want you to know that this healing, there is something around cloth for you. So the ancestors really like cloth. I learned this when I was really learning to build my altar. So maybe put a piece of cloth on your altar space if you have one, or in representation of your ancestors. This could be a lot of traditional clothing as well. But I feel like it's their way of showing you that they're really with you, whether it's past loved ones, the ancestors that you choose to work with. There is something here about really honoring your body and the sacrifice of your journey. I just feel like there is a deeper message here. You are really learning to break a lot of the financial blocks, the financial wounds of feeling like you have to work and you have to serve a situation. Again, I don't know if family's putting stress on you, or they want you to act and be a certain way, but I feel like you are really doing this, and I want you to know that you are going to shine. You are going to get everything that you desire. But you guys see how the light comes from her heart. It comes from the healing of this. So I do feel like I am hearing like 4 to 5 days, 4 to 5 months for some of you. Maybe you've been working on this, but I feel like you're maybe wanting to leave family, leave home if you live at home, or you're going on some kind of journey, whether it be spiritual, physical. You're going to do this. You're going to start to create what it is that you want. Maybe a business, maybe a new career field, maybe just expressing yourself and being what you want. Again, like maybe you don't cover your hair, but in your religion, you're supposed to cover your hair. You're supposed to be a certain way. And you know who I feel like is really coming through here for you, Pile 1? Lilith. I feel like Lilith would be a great deity for you to work with, because Lilith really understands a lot of family pain, not wanting to fit in, not being able to fit in, but you know, that is completely up to you if you choose to do so. But I feel like you are learning to really express yourself at the moment. So let's take a deeper look at your family situation, what is going on for Pile 1. So straight away, I feel like there has been some kind of falling out, there has been some kind of disagreement, and if it's not physically, then maybe it's something internally. You have the Emperor here, and this really tells me that either the head of the household, this could be a father wound, some of you have really grown up with one less parent, abandonment challenges around divine masculine. There is something here that is really deep around failure and family for you. The divine masculine, either in your household or, you know, the lack of a parent figure, comes from this place of that parent feeling and carrying this wound of failure, carrying this wound of not being able to chase their dreams, from having to grow up in a very structured environment. If you don't act like a man, then you're not a man. It's that kind of vibe, right? It's that kind of energy where it's like, if you don't get up and go and find yourself a 9-to-5 job, you're a failure, you're a disappointment. They carry that kind of wound, Pile 1. So a lot of you are really breaking your parental wounds here with family, with, you know, how they kind of live their life compared to how you're living it. And a lot of the time when it comes to parental wounds, there is differences, right? Especially if you're not carrying or doing what your parents want you to do, or they're absent in your life. There is always this internal battle that we carry, and we blame ourselves, we feel guilty, we feel hatred and anger, and rightfully so, right? But I feel like you are learning to break free from this generational pattern. So maybe it's the head of a household. I do feel like this lack of masculine energy in your life, or this lack of parent, has really caused you to feel betrayed, almost as if like, you know, like, how could you do that to me? You know, you feel really let down by the people around you, by your family, is what I get. Yeah, and some of you, maybe you even have like a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic mother here, somebody who really likes to control and dictate a lot of what you do, and you are breaking free from this. Now, divine feminine in your life, so the mother wound that you carry, or you could carry, the representation of mother in your life, honestly, right? Divine feminine, the way that we receive, it's really hurt because of this divine masculine. So if you have had parents that have divorced, if you've had parents who didn't really see eye to eye, or maybe they were very like this and you always felt like, where do I fit into this equation? This is what you're breaking and healing, and it comes from a lot of the wound, this energy of letting go of codependency tendencies. Some of you carry a lot of codependency around money, around what is yours, around some of you past life in greed here, right? This divine masculine was very greedy, and they lost themselves with a lot of darkness. Like, I even sense, and I know this may scare some of you, but I promise you it's not scary at all, right? I do sense a bit of Lucifer's energy here, and it's this energy of like greed, of negative patterns, toxicity, right? The divine masculine, the embodiment of free will, right? the embodiment of free will was abused. So this parent has really done wrong in their actions because of the wound that they carry of not having enough money, poverty consciousness, feeling poor within your mind. Your gifts are not enough. That is what they've carried. But that's not true. You are breaking out from this. So I do feel like the money challenge that you carry comes from this parent, and you are learning to heal this by putting up new boundaries, by having a better connectivity with self. Some of you are really going to have to ignore what your family is saying around you. You've come from, again, divorce, unhappy marriages, connections within your family. The parasite really lies within the home. It lies within what you've been taught, and you are breaking free from this. You're no longer carrying this sacrifice, right? And I feel like your parents or your family have really carried over the years this energy of like, again, we must be loyal to the home, we must be loyal to the job, the money, the wisdom. Like, we must work ourselves endlessly and not focus on our emotions, not give in to a lot of the emotions that we feel. This divine masculine, this parent, or these family members have not dealt with the baggage that they carried, the way that they feel. They have picked it up and they've moved forward. And while that is a strength to be able to do that, it also has caused a lot of inconsistency with their money, with what they are trying to create. And your family wounds come from not being able to build, because these people are not willing to see. Your family are not willing to see who you are. They're not willing to see what you are creating, because they can't. For some of them, it's too painful. Even though sometimes we look at our day-to-day family members and we're like, well, no, that can't be true. But look, some of you see spiritually, some of you see within the ethers, especially with that sword pointing up. You have access to a lot of intuition. You've developed your gifts, you've developed who you are. And sometimes that comes with seeing what not everybody else sees. So you see things in a healing way, you see things in a different way, you see things that are just straight up wrong. Like, we're not going to treat each other like that, we're not going to speak to each other like that. And a lot of you have put your foot down, and they don't like it, because I think a lot of your family feel like, well, you're not building anything, you're not doing anything, you know, are staying stuck in one place. But that is not true. That is the wound that you have to really let go of, listening to what they say, listening to what they think, because you are doing things in a different way, right? And sometimes it comes with having to do things behind their back. Some of you have to really be careful with, you know, who you are letting see what you're doing. They are very nosy in your business. And I feel like some of you have had to really lie as well, and it's not easy. Like, listen, coming from an energy where you can't even speak to the people around you, the truth is hard, it's difficult, because we carry this guilt inside, we carry this self-doubt. Some of you doubt yourselves and you feel guilty. Well, like, it's not their fault. You know, you see through the wounds, you see through, you know, the things that they carry, because you've been through it and you're healing it. And sometimes we feel like, well, like, walking away from these people, I don't know if I can do that. I feel guilty. I feel like, well, I want to share my money with them. I want to share my wealth with them. I want to look after them. But you can't do that. Holding yourself in the past is no longer working. You were creating a new foundation, and this is what it is. It's not easy. So you have a new start coming in here. You have new energy, and the way that you are going to really break and heal a lot of this family pattern is by believing in yourself, is by welcoming thoughts of positivity. Break the pattern, right? You have to break the cycle. And sometimes that means having to walk away from people, putting up boundaries. Well, it's none of their business. You know, the biggest thing when it comes to family healing is it's not their life. You could do everything that they wanted you to do. You could be everything they want you to be, maybe what you think they want you to be. But ultimately, it's you that's going to be unhappy. So you have to make sacrifices for yourself. What is this wealth healing here? Well, you are going to heal your wealth. What I will say is by continuing on the path that you're on. So even if it looks different, even if it isn't giving you the money straight away, your purpose is bigger. Some of you because this family member has stolen from people, or they have been greedy in their lives, they have, you know, had a lot of the negative stuff. You know, I once heard somebody say to me, like, you are the person that, you are the good parts of your parents, right? You are the good parts. They are like the negatives. Not that they're negative, right? You know, I don't like to paint people in a way where it's like you're less than me, but it's like they hold a lot of that negativity that they didn't heal, and you are the good parts of them. You are the ones that are creating and doing something different with it. So you can't listen to what they say. Do not even take financial advice from these people, because they don't know. They don't know. That is why the family cycle, that is why you are here today healing it. And even if you choose not to heal it, you don't want to be the chosen one, you are still going to have a lot of abundance. But it's all about how you feel about your money, what you do with your money. Sometimes we think we want the most expensive things, but I feel like for you, what it is that is really going to bring you a lot of abundance is feeling home, creating new relationships, creating a foundation that you love. Your money is not going to come from just, you know, bossing up, being that boss babe. Like, yes, you will. Some of you, it's going to come from a business that is really going to take off. Like, you're going to have multiple businesses. You're going to have multiple manifestations, opportunities. There's more than one thing that you can honestly do, right? But it's not going to just be about money for you. Your energy is about healing. It's about finding family, being recognized in your space of work for what you do. It comes deeper than that, right? These family members, maybe they had dreams to make it, but unfortunately they were greedy. They didn't heal themselves. You know, they got lost in what they were trying to create. But for you, it's slow growth. And it's slow growth because your wealth is going to be long term. It's going to stretch further than you know. Some of you, this is like a lot of like the new generation that you're creating in your lineage. You're creating a new generation of family, of wealth that can be used to help others, to help future generations, to, you know, really be supported. You know, it's money that supports, it's money that is love, you know. And I feel like today we have way too much of greed. We have way too much of like, I want instant gratification, but it doesn't come from that. It's going to come from celebrating yourself, knowing your worth, recognizing that you have a gift and you're standing out. Some of you are going to be famous, and I know that sounds a bit like, oh well, like, how am I going to be famous? You're going to be recognized for something. Your business, maybe by the peers around you, your family, you will be recognized. Recognition and spotlight looks so different for everyone. Like I said, for you it holds deeper meaning. And you know the way she's holding the pentacle, it's not up in the air, it's not everything, it's sitting on her lap. Yes, she has the money, but it's not everything, right? It's not everything. It's her throne, where she's at, the environment, the people she's surrounded with, the protection that she has from the earth, the wisdom, right? She's created this throne from nothing, because look at where she is, in the middle of nowhere. But it means something to her. That's why she sits on it. So this is where your wealth is going to come from. Your family situation, you are going to have to really let go of the thoughts and the baggage, the emotional stuff that they're trying to pour into you to get you to stay restricted. My belly's rumbling, you guys, but listen, some of you are hungry for the money and it's coming in, but it comes from a place of, what did I say? Building relationships. Go and find yourself. Go and really connect deeply within your heart. Go and take a second to reflect, because this is what you're doing. You are creating new light in dark spaces. I love you, Pearl 1. I hope that was helpful. Please comment if it is. Pearl 2, let's go ahead and see what the energy is for you. I have pre-picked oracle cards. So, okay, well, this is deep. Pearl 2. Okay, give me a second to connect here. So a lot of you have past loved ones that are coming through for you. Some of you, it was somebody that recently passed, okay? I do get grandparents mainly for a lot of you. So a lot of your family healing is to do with healing a wound around a death, okay? Some of you, this has really come from a lot of wanting to be better, you know, I feel like your family has a lot of big disagreements for some of you, or there could be a lot of separation within the family. And I feel like a lot of you with heart chakra here, this is about really connecting deeply with your heart, being understood, being loved and supported, feeling that mainly, right? Because I feel like for some of you, I get this energy. It's almost like I didn't realize how much love I had until I lost it. So maybe there was a main family member that you could have had a lot of disagreements with, a past loved one, or there is somebody that really loved you in spirit that comes to connect often, that you are learning to heal, right? Or they're helping you heal this. So like a lot of ancestral healing. But it's not that I get that some of you are the chosen ones, or you're healing ancestral generational stuff, right? But some of you, I don't necessarily get that. I feel like it's more to do with you being on the right purpose in life. So I feel like, you know, you are coming into a lot of blessings, but in order for you to really receive or, you know, feel very loved, it comes from lessons. It comes from going back in time, healing from the past, right? If we think about past loved ones, it, you know, they are from the past, they are no longer with us. So some of you, it's even spiritual. It comes from the spiritual plane. You have a lot of spiritual healing to do around your heart. And a lot of your family stuff, I feel like, isn't always structured. You know, the number 4, some of you want a new home, you want a new family, or you really just want to know that you're on the right path, is what I get. So what is happening within your family? Because I'm not really getting much. Some of you feel like you don't fit in with family, or you just feel like, yeah, they don't really see you. A lot of you hold on to a lot of validation for family members. You hold on to this feeling of wanting to be seen. You want to be seen by your family, but for whatever reason, I feel like you're not. And I feel like for this pile, you have a very strong unhealed mother wound, or right now the mother wound is really what you're healing. Some of you, it's even with the Sun card, divine masculine. So maybe it comes from your parents, it comes from generational stuff. Now I am going to say trigger warning for some of you, just because I'm going to be talking about pregnancy, but for some of you, I feel like there could have been a lot of miscarriage here. I mean, we have Santa Muerto here, so some of you, if it's not you that has had a miscarriage, I do see that it runs in the family line, or there is some disconnectivity here around childhood for you, where you don't feel supported, you don't feel emotionally connected here. And I feel like it's caused you to have a lot of validation for your family's opinions, maybe seeking validation from a mother figure in your life. And I just feel like you haven't really grown up with a lot of tender love and care, you know, a lot of TLC. It's like, I just feel like you've had to grow up very quickly is what I get. Some of you, I do sense a bit of inner teen challenge here. And I feel like your current situation, you don't feel abundant in whatever it is that you're trying to seek. Maybe it's a new career. Maybe it's, again, just a lot of these wounds, right? Now, I do see, or I'm hearing, you have a familiar that comes towards you. So I do see cats. I don't know why, but cats are really connecting with me today. So the divine feminine, I feel like Bastet, okay, the deity, also known as Sekhmet. But Bastet, she is great for protecting the home, mother and child. And I feel like she really comes in as a familiar. So maybe if you see black cats, or you see any kind of animal, it is the sign from the other side, either past loved ones or your spirit guides. They really guide you here, okay? And they are helping you heal this mother wound, this feeling of neglect within the family, right? It's something that needs to be healed because it's really affecting your own self-expression, you know, how you connect with other people. I do feel like relationship challenges that are going to either come from not healing these wounds of needing others' opinions, needing to feel validated by the people that should have loved us to begin with, or should have taken the time to have TLC with us. But I feel like, you know, again, it could even be this feeling or this loss of connectivity, this loss of child, this loss of something that you did not get in your childhood. Something was taken away. And again, trigger warning, for some of you, this is a lot of, you know, history. This is a lot of trauma that you carry within your body, especially within your heart. And I feel like this is where your family healing comes into play. This is where it comes from, the lessons from going back in time to really see those emotions, to feel them, so we can move on and so we can start to create something new. Because pile 2, you have the ability to create a new life for yourself. So whether you feel stuck and unappreciated, you have this energy where you can give it to yourself. You are learning to express yourself, to understand yourself. Again, this feeling of being misunderstood, feeling left out in the cold, in the dark, you know, feeling like people just never take the time to understand you. And I feel like by seeing yourself, you are going to create a new vibration. Because whether you are trying to gain some kind of fame in life, some kind of recognition with money, in order to see a lot of your receiving, it comes from having to understand and heal ourselves. So you could have really low self-esteem here. You may feel just this lack of nurturing within. Some of you don't take care of yourselves, but it's not your fault, because it comes from a mother wound here of not being taken care of feeling like you've lost a mother in life, feeling like you've lost parents, you know. It all affects us, and a lot of you, your healing comes from that. So you have to be really gentle with yourself. Now, I feel like if you have a lot of opinions around you, yeah, 2 of Pentacles, you feel very overwhelmed with life, with challenges. Again, somebody who can be very low vibrational. I do feel like this could be like a mother that you cut off, or somebody who doesn't understand. Again, it could be a narcissistic mother, you know, somebody who uses a lot of even information. You know, this could even come from sisterhood. I am hearing like cousins, like it goes within the family lineage around your feminine side. Specifically, you may have, you know, energy around divine masculine, right? Unhealed divine masculine, but specifically this pile right now, your healing comes from the divine feminine, right? So I feel like some of you feel very indecisive. You're really unsure about what you want to do right now, which direction to move in. You know, financially, you feel the weight of the world. And I do feel like the key to changing this is connectivity within. So some of you, this lack that you've had within relationships, feeling like you were overlooked, feeling like your voice is not heard, it comes from you not being able to really feel from your heart chakra, right? Because some of you are really stuck between your head and your heart, what to do with certain situations, how to move forwards. But I do feel like by you understanding yourself, making a choice to really change here, to really start to bring a lot of this darker stuff that is eating away at me, to heal it, you are going to be able to unlock new relationships, a new relationship with yourself mainly, right? Some of you, there is a twin flame family situation here, or it's affecting you. And in order to really connect, it's your ability to be able to not only give love, right, but also to receive it, to feel love within. The biggest thing with any twin flame journey, some of you don't even know that you're a twin flame. You could be on a really spiritual journey, but the biggest thing with twin flame energy is we have to be able to give and receive love to ourselves before we reconnect with a twin flame. That's why we go on separate journeys, right? That is why we split up, because we have different journeys, different things that we need to heal, that we need to complete, you know, within, to help improve our value of life. But until we can really value ourselves, a twin flame situation will never work, because we have to be able to still give love to ourselves and being in a relationship with others. So some of you, it's deeper. It's about you creating new relationships. It's about you really healing the karmic injustice here. And some of you have, again, you've been taken advantage of, is what I'm hearing. Again, trigger warning, I sense a lot of trauma to the body here. There is a lot of injustice that has happened. A lot of people have taken from you, relationships, family, right? People that have overlooked you. You are healing this karma. And some of you with the Eight of Swords, it comes from feeling just so restricted. You feel like they are all against you, and some of you just feel so hurt, so unloved. But the energy to heal this, the Fool card, again, is a fresh start, my angel. This is what your family healing is. It's about creating a fresh start with your journey. So they are showing me like an ice ring here is what I'm seeing in my vision, and it's almost as if you are learning to go into the unknown. So some of you are walking away from family here, or situations that really drain you. You have to start putting up boundaries with people. You have to stop letting them treat you a certain way. Until I really started to put up boundaries with people that I once loved, until I started to change myself, to start praying to myself, I didn't really start to see a lot of results, right? Again, it comes from this energy of like, how can I heal within? That is the energy. It's about creating a new relationship with yourself firstly. You know, Page of Pentacles. If you are struggling with money, you're feeling restricted, you feel just like people really come in, they add some type of value and then they leave. You know, again, some of you have abandonment challenges. But by nurturing your own soul, by giving your inner child this validation of you are loved, you are proud, you know, I'm proud of you. By celebrating yourself, honestly, you are going to recreate this outcome, and you're not doing it alone. That's the most important thing. You have a past loved one here that connects. You have a lot of ancestors. Some of you have multiple ancestors here that really come in. Some of you have a lot of guardians of the underworld as well, because you know, this is Book of the Dead, right? And I just feel like it's like you're unlocking this prison. You're no longer going to be behind the scenes feeling so restricted, feeling so unworthy, this lack of self-esteem. You are creating this new vibration with yourself, because some of you lock away. And, you know, I want to shout out the Oracle of Lilith, because during one of her readings, she kind of gave me this insight. We always hide away what is behind the scenes, you know, what we feel behind the scenes, and we show the world, you know, a smiley face, but that's not always the case. So with a lot of your family situation, you feel so unjustified, you don't feel heard, and you lock it away and you keep it within your heart. And this ancestor is really helping you release how you feel, because you are now creating this new vibration by honoring your feelings, you know, by talking about how you really feel, even if it's to do with a past loved one, dealing with grief, right? Some of you, there is a lot of envy around you. Maybe you're envious of other people in relationships, or relationships within family, because they have everything together and you feel like you don't. But, you know, by accepting your journey, the things that you've been through, I almost get Pole 2, you are really getting real with yourself here. You're getting real with the energy. You are really entering a metamorphosis. You're transforming, right? And you're doing this with compassion, with love, right? And it's not easy to come out of a grave. I know a lot of people just honored their ancestors recently. So if you did that, they are here. They saw something that you did for them. Day of the Dead, is it? I'm sorry, I cannot remember the proper name of the Mexican ritual, right? The ownership of, you know, that ritual, and how you honor the other side. But whatever you did, they saw it, right? On their altar space, they saw it, they came through for some of you. So I feel like you got to slow down. You got to slow down and be real with yourself. They're showing me a skeleton here. It's funny because this is all skeletons, but with the King of Pentacles, I feel like your money is going to start to improve when you stop taking from yourself. Stop taking the joy and the love from yourself by giving it away to others. Some of you energetically give away your power to your family, to the people that have really hurt you, and I feel like, honestly, the way to work through it, for me, what works is shadow work, working through a journal, write how you feel. Always try and leave your shadow work with some sort of positive, some sort of like movement forward, because it will help you feel a lot more complete. But you have to stop taking from yourself, stop doubting yourself, because you know you haven't received a lot. Some of you have had family steal from you as well, and you've overlooked it, you've not said anything. And if you didn't know that it happened, it has happened. There was money that was taken from you that was supposed to be yours, is what I'm hearing. And this inheritance is really going to come in. You're going to have something come in here. And the justice, listen, it's not been seen, but I feel like first the lesson here for you is about, you need to get in the right vibration to receive that sort of money, to receive your justice. But because you have been so focused on a lot of what has been happening around you, you have not taken a second to see and ask yourself, what do I need today? Right? Do I need a bit more self-love? Do I need to just be gentle with myself because I've been through a lot? Do I need to celebrate myself and be proud of myself? You have to start honoring yourself, because again, by honoring yourself, you're unlocking so much more than just relationships, the right person. You're going to be meeting the right people. You're going to start to receive. But it's, you know, I'm almost seeing like a wheel here, right? Or like, you know, it's almost as if like you're shifting it around. You're shifting things around. It's kind of like as above, so below, right? You can't hit rock bottom and then just die. When you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. And this is what you're doing. You're sitting in the dark right now. You're honoring these feelings. Honor where you are right now. Because the best way that you are going to start to receive all your blessings is by honoring it, healing it, and starting to implement things that are going to help you. You know, sometimes we feel, well, I need to heal so I can get a new relationship. No, babe, you need to heal for you. You need to do it for you, because the biggest thing to success is by doing it for yourself and not for others. So some of you, it's going to have to be blocking out energetically, do a bit of protection spell around people who are draining you. Stop giving them access to your thoughts by thinking about them. If something is bothering you, get a pen and paper, write it down, work through it, move on from it. Because by carrying it around, that is all you're going to create. Okay, so pile 2, I hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next one. Please like and comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Let's move on. Okay, pile 3. I feel like the last 2 piles were very deep, but the first thing I'm hearing for you is success. Success is coming in for you. Don't even fret about what you don't have. Don't fret about what you are still learning, about what is happening with your family situation, because you are really making it. Okay, something new is really coming in towards you. I want you to know that. Take your time to really connect with yourself. So I have already picked out oracle cards, so we're going to get straight into your reading. Okay, what is happening with your family situation? I am hearing there is a divide recently. Okay, so I don't know if there's been disagreements happening with you and family, if there has been a lot of protection over your space is what I'm hearing. But you have, some of you, a grandfather that is really watching over you. For others of you, you have a male in the family that is really thinking about you, or they're either watching you and they're in your space, right? Energetically, physically, if you live at home. But somebody is definitely watching and thinking about you. That is what I'll say. So some of you have a lot of Celtic ancestral roots here. So you may come from a very, I'm hearing promised land. Some of you, there is something here around your ancestral land, what you are creating. Your ancestors may have come from a lot of period in time where land was very important. I mean, land is important today. Just look at what's happening in the news, right? But I almost just get this energy like there is something here about promised land, the way that they built I see you actually come from a very rich ancestry. Some of you need to look into your ancestry, because I actually feel like there could be family members that you need to connect with. I don't know, I see like grandparents here for some of you. You do have mature man, so again, it could be like a father figure that maybe wants to connect with you. But I feel like you have a lot of access to money. And again, the first thing I heard was a lot of success coming towards you. You're about to uncover something. Your ancestors are behind this 100%. But I feel like some of you first need to either heal, or you need to have some kind of knowledge around something. Your ancestors come from a lot of knowledge, a lot of riches. I don't know. Okay, so I'm thinking about a book series that I've started reading a while ago. I don't know if you guys are into books or you like books. There are books on the shelf here, but the Inheritance Games, I'm getting that kind of vibe. I don't know if you guys have ever read that series. You should. It's a really good series. And essentially it's about an ancestor, a very rich ancestor that leaves a lot of the family money to a random girl. And the family is like, why has our grandfather left a lot of our ancestral wealth to this one random girl? And this is kind of the energy I get for you. There could be an ancestor that is going to leave you a lot, or there is money that is going to come towards you that is owed to you. And I know that seems really crazy. That seems like such a movie kind of thing, like that only happens in movies. But even if it's not physically with an ancestor, with a person within your family, trust me, the spiritual ancestral wealth that is going to come towards you is going to open you up to so many new beginnings. It's really going to be one of those like, oh my God, I've won the lottery moments. And again, it's very hard to believe, because especially if you've grown up with a lot of, you know, struggles, you haven't really had any wealth recently, any luck maybe, it's happening. But I feel like a lot of you, there is a family member that triggers you right now. This could be a mother figure, an aunt for some of you. Some of you, there are jealous people within the family that are going to feel like they are owed this wealth, or that have been secretly stealing off your wealth as well. So what is happening within your family situation? Let's get a bit more tea is what I'm hearing. Yeah, you have a lot of fake people in your family. I'm hearing a lot of fake smiles, a lot of fake compliments. I don't know, like maybe you're intuitive and you see through people, but again, there was a fallout here with somebody. This, I am getting a feminine, could be a masculine as well though. Like I said, I do pick up on a masculine energy, but I feel like there was a lot of hurt that happened within your family in the past. Maybe just arguments all the way around the family tree, right? But there was a lot of like lost love, lost celebration here. And what I'm being shown is that an ancestor is showing me like, it's almost as if like all the love that was within the family, all the things that should have sprouted from this water, from this love, from this like celebration, did not grow. Like I'm seeing, they're showing me a seed in the ground that just did not bloom. It did not sprout anything. It just stayed hard as a rock. So there is someone within your family right now that is like this. They are hard as a rock. They are very arrogant, ignorant. They don't really see things from anyone else's perspective. They definitely don't understand you. It could be a masculine, it could be a feminine with masculine tendencies, but whoever this person is, they're very invasive towards your energy. Like they don't believe in like depression, they don't believe in like what you're saying. They may feel like, oh well, you don't spend time with the family. It's that kind of energy, right? It's like anything and everything that you go through somehow is affecting this person. Somehow it's your fault. It affects this person more, like they can't have a good time. You know what they're showing me? I'm seeing like a parent, right? You know when a parent says like, wipe that face off you, like wipe that smug smile, wipe that frown off your face, right? You got a face like a slapped ass. That is what I'm channeling. I'm channeling that energy. And it's kind of like this parent who you know, always used to say, well, like, you're in a mood because you're quiet. It's that vibe, that narcissistic, everything revolves around me. I'm not going to hear what you have to say. I do see a hurt daughter here. So if you are a feminine, this could be a mother. This could be somebody who just is very stuck in their ways. But you have an ancestor who, again, either passed on. Obviously, they've passed on, right? If it's an ancestor. But, you know, it could even be somebody that is still with you today. I get a grandparent who, or like a father figure who really understands how this has affected you now. Maybe when they were living or when they were present in your life, they had these kind of same tendencies. And honestly, they probably passed it on down the line. And they're not particularly proud of that. But I feel like they have deeper understanding, because it's kind of like when you pass on, you have deeper knowledge, you have, you know, infinite knowledge, right, of the universe, of how things looked. And sometimes when you're stuck in a certain situation, it can be stubbornness, it could be ego that drives you, and sometimes we don't see how it can affect others. You know, again, it's like in an argument there could be more than one person that's hurt, but when you are the person that's hurt, or you are the person that feels a type of way, you don't always see straight away the other person's viewpoint. And you are somebody who does, you know, you do see the other person's viewpoint. You're very empathetic, you're very in tune with your dreams, with counseling. Like, you've been hurt so much by family. I feel like you have a very big understanding of what it means to heal, and you are really on this healing journey. You could be very spiritual, you could just be somebody who wants better. You are really trying to understand where you are emotionally, where you are within your relationships, with receiving good things, because I feel like for a while it has just been healing, healing, healing. Let me see the truth of these people. And it's almost as if you just, I feel like you're a bit disappointed now. It's almost as if like you've been let down so many times. It's like, I don't really expect anything new from you, right? From your family. So I feel like your journey of healing really is about understanding how you can give that love back to yourself, how you can start letting go of what these people think of you, because sometimes we can think negatively about the people that we really dislike or we really don't get along with, and we can feed our energy into it. And I feel like by understanding that this person maybe doesn't understand me because they have been through X, Y, and Z, they have X, Y, and Z beliefs, it's like they're not going to change, but sometimes it's us that needs to change. We are the change. You are the change, right? You are the one that is really going to set the vibration and tone right, whether you choose you want to do it on a generational wound kind of way, healing generational stuff, whether you just want to set something, a new boundary in place. And this person I'm hearing really doesn't understand boundaries, but it's like the tone that you set is important, and the tone that you set with yourself is also equally as important. So I feel like you are going to get some kind of new knowledge. Some of you, I'll be honest, you are going to see the truth about people and their intentions. Spirit is really giving you access to something here, whether it's truth. Some of you, it's your expression, the way that you express emotions. I went through this in my beginning of my spiritual awakening, feeling so emotionally overwhelmed. Like, some of you allowed this family situation to really affect you to the point where it's like it takes away from the love that you have from yourself, and it triggers this self-love journey, this healing journey. And while you learn from it, I feel like the energy of you healing your family stuff comes from not getting so worked up in the first place. You are learning to really deal with the way that you handle these people, you know, emotionally. I feel like that needs a bit of, you know, work for you. If this person says one thing to you, well, it either matters to you or it doesn't. And I think it's about how you handle it. Do not let the people around you, these family members or, you know, people who you have fallen out with, who have broken on terms with, you know, you're on bad terms with. It doesn't even have to be relationships. It can be cousins, you know, it can go on and on. Whoever it is that is causing you this lack of self-love, it's how you handle what they say, right? Because I'm a big believer in, if we say it doesn't care, it doesn't matter, that means it does, it hurts us, right? But it's about how we have connectivity within ourselves. Do we trust our journey? Firstly, do we trust who we are? Are we comfortable being a spiritual person? Are we comfortable being on this healing journey? Sometimes it's not always comfortable, but it's about the relationship that you have with yourself. You know, don't let it take away from who you are, because for some of you it kind of triggers this, again, hatred for yourself, or like, I don't want to do this, my manifestations are not coming in. You start to doubt yourself. You start to, well, like, maybe I'm in the wrong, maybe I should be more gentle with them. You go through the whole nines, and sometimes it's necessary because it puts us on the right path. But for you, it's almost like Spirit is saying, you keep repeating this lesson, you keep allowing this person to affect who you are, right? But you have to remember that these people don't know right from wrong. They're not seeing things from the spiritual lens that you are, from the healing lens that you are. So it's about, you know, you having that deeper knowledge, sitting with your knowledge. And this is what a past loved one is really teaching you. It's teaching you about your own philosophy, the value that you have with yourself, honestly. Right? I'm seeing like almost like a ring on your finger, but it's a ring that you've put there yourself. A promise to yourself that no matter what people say, no matter the actions that they choose to take, it's hurtful and you're going to heal from it. Of course you are. But it's about the way that you deal with it. It's about the way that you have better development for yourself. And honestly, what I'm hearing is like a domino effect. The more that these people try to push you, or they try to put the blame on you, they try to make it about a you problem, the more that you are going to build a relationship with yourself, the more that you're going to develop with who you are. For so long, you were the one putting the pieces back together, doubting yourself again. It's like every time they break a glass, you are the ones that have to fix it. You're the person that has to go deep within. But why? Why? They broke the glass. They're the ones to clean it up. So that is kind of like the boundary that you need to start setting in place. If you chuck a glass on the floor, you're cleaning it up. I'm no longer cleaning up people's emotional wounds. I'm not carrying, you know, whatever it is generational. I'm healing from it. I'm learning for it for myself. But once you cross that line, baby, that's your business. You break something, you pick it up and you clear it. That is kind of the implement or the rule that they're trying to give towards you. And again, some of you, an ancestor, didn't really, you know, do this. They were part of the reason this happened, but they want you to have better belief with yourself, with who you are. And whether you have Celtic ancestors, this reminds me of just like faith with who I am, faith with what I have become. You know, you have gone through this healing. Some of you are going through this and you're learning this. You're learning not to be the ones to, you know, fix relationships anymore. You're learning to really honor yourself and who you are, your values. But by doing this, it's going to heal. It's going to have a groundbreaking effect. It's like I'm no longer being the one that is being trod on. Absolutely not. We're not doing this. So your healing advice with a lot of your family situation is to start learning your own philosophy. Some of you come from a very, again, traditional background. Like I said, you come from very traditional ancestors, or people who just keep passing on the same knowledge. But, you know, what I'm getting with the Hierophant card is your own teachings, your own learning, your own philosophy for love, for the way that you want to, you know, move forwards within relationships. Some of you, if you're having trouble with love, it comes from a place of needing to heal yourself, and also the way that you are taught to deal with relationships, especially if you don't have good relationships within family. Sometimes you can really pass on that wound to other people without knowing it. So by, again, really taking the time to learn, some of you, if you're doing something around career, I actually feel you're going to have new knowledge to learn. Like, there is a lot here. Some of you really want a family. You maybe even have, again, this father figure. There is somebody here, a gentleman that wants to connect with you. do so if you wish, but I feel like this ancestor is really helping you with this. They could have been a real good father to you, or they are that type of family energy. And I'm hearing like, even though I didn't show you, I can help you with it now because I have access to that infinite knowledge of the universe, right? Because I've passed on, I can now see clearly. I can understand that all of that stuff, all of that emotional stuff that we carry, the stubbornness, the ego, it doesn't matter. What matters is the relationships that you choose to create, that you choose to heal from. But nothing's going to change if we are doing this cat and mouse with it, with family, with each other, with relationships. So your healing is beginning, okay? My advice to you is to put better boundaries with people, to cut off negative patterns. If a family member is negative, guess what? You gotta go. And don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you have to decide between your head and your heart, or like, this is family, I can't just cut them off. You can. And sometimes we have to put boundaries until people start to learn what they've done wrong. But if you keep allowing, hearing like the mouse in the trap, right, it's going to keep eating the cheese. It's going to keep getting stuck. It's going to keep making you feel a type of way. Right? You can chase and you can chase these people, but until you decide to make the changes, nothing's going to change in your life. You can't control other people's actions and the way that they respond. It's not going to always be loving and easy, but if you don't put the change in place, the biggest thing I've learned around family is it is going to carry on. If you don't choose to separate yourself, if you don't choose to put up that protective barrier, it's going to affect you. Right? Because these people, some of them, that is what they look for. The parasite within them that has been passed on from generation to generation, that is looking for blood, right? It's looking for something to feed on. It's eating on them, and they are trying to seek that light away from you. And I'm not saying that these members are always negative and they are bad people. They are just part of the chain. But it's up to you to break the chain. So you have to be honest with yourself. You know, am I allowing somebody to walk all over me? Again, for some of you, it's a relationship in your life, a love relationship, a partnership with someone that is no longer working. You keep giving your energy to, but it's time to break it. It's time to change, right? And don't feel like you're missing out, because you're not. I love you, Pile 3. I hope that was helpful. I will see you in the next one.